to realize that our decisions determine our destiny. And so we have to be ready to make a decision of our own when the Spirit of God prompts us to move. Have I got some help? Amen. And so I want to remind us that as we look into the text tonight, Jesus was leaving from Jericho, the place of defeat, which was one of the first places that Israel had defeated when they were entering into the promised land. And of course, we've heard about the Jericho road, where there's a whole lot that's going on there. But Jesus was coming down from Jericho. They were on the Jericho road, amen? And leaving Jericho, a place of defeat, and coming to a place of peace and blessings and destiny in Jerusalem, amen? And Jerusalem, again, means the place of peace, or the city of David. And so as they were entering in, we find blind Bartimaeus between defeat and peace. Some of y'all will get it in a minute. He was right outside of his destiny. Have I got some help in the house? And I like this because one of the things that I've discovered about the devil is that it is his aim to make sure that there are issues and weaknesses and deficiencies and disabilities in your life that try to make it impossible for you to make it to your destiny. You have to understand the devil wants to block you and stop you in whatever you're trying to do in the kingdom of God. And so as we look at the text, we find this blind beggar outside of his destiny. And as we focus in on this, we need to understand that even though he was incapacitated, even though he had some impediments or deficiencies or some flaws, that God always has a way out for us. Lean on somebody and tell them there is a way out, amen? Yeah, God has a way to help you to get to your destiny, but you have to understand that you got to be ready when your moment comes to move in that moment. Have I got some help in here? And you know, it's easy to get ditched on the way and get caught up or baffled or stranded by something or someone while you're on your way to your destiny. And so you got to understand, here he is outside, bewildered, blind, disadvantaged, disabled to get to where he really wanted to go. Have I got some help? He wanted to participate, but something was keeping him out. He wanted to be involved with the festivities, but he was blind and not able to do just like everybody else. Have I got some help in the house? Amen. He wanted to be a part. In fact, when he heard all of the commotion, he wanted to know what was going on. Hallelujah, somebody. And somebody told him that was Jesus of Nazareth that was passing by. Hallelujah, somebody. And so his progress was impeded, his development was impeded upon, his blessings were impeded upon because he was blind. Hallelujah, somebody. And some of us have to understand that our choices can hinder our destiny. He could have had a pity party. He could have said, well, you know, he could have stood on the fact that, you know, I'm disabled, I'm blind, I'm a beggar, and this is not for me. Hallelujah, somebody. But something sparked on the inside that caused him to move in the moment. Tell somebody you got to learn how to move in your moment. Amen. He decided to break the barriers that were holding him back. And sometimes we got to be bold enough to break the barriers so we can have our breakthrough. Are y'all still in it with me? And so here he is deciding, making the determining factor about his destiny in order to get to where he needed to be. He had heard about Jesus of Nazareth, one who was able to give sight to the blind, one who fed 5,000, one again who turned water into wine, one who parted the Red Sea. He had heard about the miracles of Jesus. And so he gets excited just by what he knows about Jesus. Hallelujah, somebody. He did not get bogged down. He did not get confused. He did not get frustrated. He did not procrastinate it. In fact, he said to himself, and I believe if I can use my imagination, this is my moment. Anybody ever been there? Where you knew it was your moment and you wanted to seize the opportunity while you had a chance. Hallelujah. Because it may not come around again. In fact, it would not come around because Jesus was on his way to Via Dolorosa. Have I got any help in the house? He was making his last round. Hallelujah, somebody. And some people are inhibited or restricted or hindered because of something that they may have inherited from their family. Hallelujah, somebody. Some folks are inhibited because of the people that they hang out with, their associates and their friends and their homies and the divas they hang out with. Have I got any help in here? Some folk are stuck because they have a poor value system of themselves, a poor level of self-worth, because sometimes our disabilities or impediment causes us to think that we don't deserve the blessings of God. But anybody in here know that devil is a lie. Hallelujah. Whatever God has for you, oh, I'm going to get some witnesses in here tonight. Hallelujah, somebody. Yeah, but there are folks that come in, even into worship, that are debilitated because the enemy had pressured their praise. Anybody praise ever been pressured? If you wanted to worship, but you felt like, you know what, I'm not worthy. You wanted to give God the glory, but you felt like somebody was going to criticize you. You wanted to lift up holy hands, but you felt like, amen, that God is not going to bless my praise. But you cannot allow the enemy to pressure your praise. Tell somebody you got to learn how to praise him in spite of. Too many times we have pity parties. Too many times we succumb to the wiles of the devil when you should give God praise anyhow, because you ought to be able to worship him no matter what the circumstances are. God is worthy to be praised. Hallelujah, somebody. And so you got to again know that God wants us to praise him as long as we live. The dead can't praise him. Hallelujah. You got to praise him while you are alive. Hallelujah, somebody. And sometimes we allow things to hinder our worship. But we got to learn how to worship him when we're up and worship him when we're down. Hallelujah, somebody. Isn't that what Paul said? Amen. I learned how to be abound and how to be abased. I learned how to be up and I learned how to be down. I learned how to give God glory no matter what's going on in my life. Are y'all still in there with me? Yeah, so the first thing that we notice in the text is his decision to move to his destiny. Because sometimes barriers will cause us not to go forth to what God has for us in our lives. And sometimes we allow that to shut us down. Hallelujah, somebody. And you got to understand that when you make up your mind that this is my moment, you got to put it in action. Hallelujah, somebody. How in the world can I get myself out of this situation that I find myself in? Tell somebody you got to make a decision. You got to have a decision and stop blaming. There's some folk that love to play the blame game. And they blame everybody for the condition that they find themselves in. I don't know whether Bart was seeing before he became blind or not. I don't know whether it was from birth, but whatever the case is, he wasn't playing the blame game on this day. He was again declaring, this is my moment. And so the first decision that you have to make is take account of your own life. You got to take account of your own life. Hallelujah, somebody. When he heard it was Jesus, he began to cry out. Hallelujah, somebody. And we have to come that Romans 12:1 tells us, amen, that we are not to be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Are y'all still with me? When you really want to move toward your destiny, when you want to roll your burden away, your barrier away, your hindrance away, then you got to be willing to make a decision. Hallelujah. And decisions cause for change. That word right there. Change. That's a bad word in some circles. Because whenever you decide to do something different, that means I got to change. I got to get out of my familiar and do something that I have not done before. Hallelujah, somebody. Because this is my moment, and I've got to learn how to encourage myself and say, I'll let nothing turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Hallelujah. And there are a lot of folk that are burdened and hindered now from their again destiny, because they allow their impediment, their disability, to shut them down. Some folk can do better with their lifestyle, but they allow things that are in front of them to shut them down. Some folk can do better in their relationship, but they allow things to shut them down. Some people can do better, with their marriage and their business, but they allow things to shut them down and bring them to a standstill. And we got to learn, we got to make up our mind that I'm going to call on Jesus no matter what. And so it requires decision. This decision. You wouldn't be saved right now if you had not made a decision to follow Christ. You wouldn't be a tither now if you had not made a decision that I'm going to do what the Word of God wants me to do. Hallelujah. I would not be in ministry now if I had not decided that I'm going to follow God in whatever He wants me to do. Hallelujah, somebody. And so the first thing is that you got to make a decision. Just tell your neighbor real quick, you got to make a decision. And that means change. That means I got to get out of the familiar. I got to get out of my comfort zone. I got to go in a place that I have not been before. I got to do a thing that I have not done before. But when I get to that point, I know God is going to be standing right there, because this is my moment. Hallelujah, somebody. And so the first thing is there has to be a decision. And then secondly, there has to be a determination. I'm just about done. But you got to be determined to do what you're doing. Amen. Hallelujah. Your opportunity for destiny. Bartimaeus could have procrastinated. Yeah, but he wouldn't pass up this chance. Hallelujah, to have Jesus to be a part of his life. He wanted to move on and do greater things in life. Hallelujah, somebody. Maybe he had been struggling long enough. Anybody ever had to struggle? Yeah. And sometimes you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you want to make a change in your life. You want to do something different in your life. You want to pull up from where you are so that you can walk in your God-given destiny. And how many people know that God has a plan for your life? Hallelujah. He has a purpose for your life. But you got to be willing to pull up from where you are. Some of us get complacent in our comforts and we don't want to change. Hallelujah, somebody. But it takes strong determination to free yourself up, because this may have been the last opportunity that Bartimaeus was going to have. Hallelujah, somebody. And so no need of walking around with a defeatist mindset. Oh, it's no use for me. I'm all washed up. And they said, I'll never be nothing. They said, I won't make it. They said this about me, and they said that. And you got to understand, if God be for you, who can be against you? Hallelujah, somebody. Yeah, he's able to break whatever breakthrough that you need, whatever barrier that you might have, so that you can move on to your destiny, no matter how bleak it may look. Anybody know God is able? Yeah, God is really able. Hallelujah. Anybody tried him and know he's really able? If you call on him, he can do what nobody else can do. Because he specializes, come on somebody, in things that seem, impossible. Hallelujah, somebody. And that's what I like about him, because when he gets in the situation, everything changes when Jesus shows up. I wish I had somebody here that's going to help me tonight. Hallelujah, somebody. You got to make a decision, and then you got to be determined that I'm going to follow Jesus. No turning back. Hallelujah, somebody. But I want to follow his plan. But watch this right here. Nothing could stop him. He was just determined. I like this part of the text. Hallelujah. Because, sometimes when you worship too much, folk try to shut you down. Yeah. They try to call you down. Hallelujah. Yeah, but the text says that the more he cried out. Anybody know there's power in the name of Jesus? The more he cried out, the more they tried to shut him down, the louder he got. The more they tried to say, shut up. We quiet in our church. We don't do all of that around here. We are reserved around here. The more they tried to shut him down, the louder. Hallelujah. Because he was saying, this is my moment, and I'm not going to let anybody get in my way. I've got a barrier, and I need a breakthrough right now. Anybody in here ever needed a real bad? You needed God to show up for you right where you were in your situation, and you had to call on him and say, Lord, have mercy. Hallelujah. When you really need him, come on somebody, you don't call him cutesy. You just call him in a bodacious spiritual way. Lord, have mercy. Anybody ever had to call him like that? Late in the midnight hour, when sickness was leaving you, Lord, when problems were all around you, and you had to call him. Anybody don't move tonight? Have you really had to call him? You were determined to get your breakthrough because this is your moment, and you had to say, Lord, hallelujah, have mercy. See, you ain't got time to be cute and proper. When you really need something, come on somebody. You get a little ugly sometimes, come on somebody. You call him, hallelujah, and when folks try to say, shut up, it don't take all of that. You ought to get louder. You got to make up your mind. Tell somebody you got to make up your mind. Say, this is my moment. Hallelujah, somebody. I know this is the time that God has set for me. Hallelujah, somebody. And I ain't going to let nobody turn me around. Yeah, you can treat me cold. You can criticize me. You can laugh at me. Make fun at me. But the more you talk, the the more you criticize, the more I'm going to call his name, because there's something about that name. Nudge your neighbor and tell him there's something about that name. There's power in that name. There's healing in that name. There's breakthrough in that name. There's overcoming in that name. Anybody here ever had to call him? Won't he show up? Won't he show up? Hallelujah. Anybody ever have to call him in the midnight hour, early in the morning, in the noonday hour? Won't he show up? Won't he work it out? While you're trying to figure it out, he's already worked it out. Hallelujah, somebody. Don't listen to folk because you don't know what I need. Hallelujah. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the problems I've had. You don't know the struggles I've gone through. I ain't gonna let nobody stop me from calling on the name of God. This is my moment, and I will take advantage of it. Is there anybody in here ever had to take advantage of your moment? Shout yeah! Shout yeah! Oh yeah! God will, he'll make a way out of no way. Thank you, Father, for letting me know that Jesus will take them same folk that was talking about you, those same folk that were criticizing you, and call them out and say, bring it to me. Did you read that in the text? The same folk that were trying to shut him down, he said, bring it to me. Ain't God all right? God is amazing in his ways, and there's none like him. He got power. Anybody know he got power? Somebody shout power. To give sight to the blind, to move you to your destiny. To nudge your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't miss your moment. Your moment will come while you're gossiping with somebody. Your moment will come while you're fixing somebody. Your moment will come while you're on Facebook. Your moment may come while you're on the internet. I got some witness here. But look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, don't miss your moment. Because when Jesus shows up, everything will change. And God, I feel like preaching now. Hallelujah. Come here, Father, pay us. He called you. And God, all right. And when he calls, I will answer. When he calls, will you answer? Because he's able. Oh, able. And I'm glad that Barnabas didn't have no shame in his game. And God, all right. Got ready to go up. I'm glad he divested himself of his cloak. And sometimes Jesus, when the moment comes, there's some stuff you got to leave behind. There's some people you got to leave behind. There's some places you got to leave behind. Hallelujah. I said hallelujah. When he comes, when it's your moment, that makes us Hallelujah, somebody. For the red light district. But when he comes, don't miss. I said, don't miss. Come on, grab your neighbor by the hand and say, don't miss. No moment. Hallelujah. But I'm reminded when Jesus was out on Calvary. Hallelujah. One thief on the left-hand side and one on the right. I thank God for the one thief made up his mind that this is my moment. Thank God, all right. Win. You're coming to the kingdom. Remember me. Anybody here ever had to tell him, remember me? Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Won't he do it? Won't he make a way?